Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Goodman Softball Diamond Complex as we get you set for Game 2 of this doubleheader between Wisconsin and St. Thomas. The Badgers took care of business in Game 1, winning in 5, 15-2. The Bats got off to a hot start early. Wisconsin tallying 5 runs in the first inning. Olivia Bark 3 for 3 with a pair of triples and a double.
And you could just tell that the Badgers tried to go the distance, just need a little bit of run support and extras from her team.
That one now just out of foul territory, and Bark will make the play on that one for the first out of Game 2. Lincoln Thomas, where you have runners left in scoring position early on in that contest that ultimately resulted in double plays. There's a strikeout there from Salo, getting Wukowitz down on strikes, and you have a couple of those opportunities that you aren't able.
Line is into that fence in right field.
Yeah, and just about putting that ball in play now is
call strike
like
3.
Salo rings up Carby to end the inning. A quick 3 up, 3 down here in the first inning of.
It's just clear that no matter what level you're playing at.
That one, a little dribbler back to the mound. It's time for the play, and it is in time. Great play there from Ava Kleinfeld, scooping that up and dumping it off to.
Has been seeing the ball real well in the season.
That one, a little blooper. Right in the second baseline, Leinhardt calls her off, and we'll get to the second out of the inning. Couple away here early.
And there you go. 2 straight. You talk about how
now steps to the plate for Wisconsin. Got a pair of hits and 4 at-bats. Dribbler that now to Carby at third. Carby swings it back over to Sterling and make that 3 up, 3 down for the Tommies in the bottom of the inning. Be able to build the foundation from something, and Ella Cook has been one of the pillars as she's a dribbler to shortstop, and that one is going to be an error, it looks like, for Wisconsin. Ellie Hubbard unable to. Little dribbler back to Salo, and she's going to be unable to hang on to that as that gets out in the deeper part of the infield, and looks like that's going to be an infield hit there from Kale.
But now it's St. Thomas's turn. Put that bunt down. The moves to try and get that pinch runner into second.
That one now a slapper over the head of Whitten, and that's going to be a base hit. Runners are going to hold at second and third now as it's a base to capitalize. That one goes behind the plate now as it looks like Tommies will have a runner come in to score. A wild pitch being the first run of Game 2.
Yeah, I'm sure that Emmy Wells would love to have that one back. That should absolutely go down as a wild pitch. Got underneath her. And a quick.
Looking at a little bit of riding the tides of last game into this one. And, on the flip side for St. Thomas and, Jennifer Trotter is about moving on and playing the next one. And certainly so, St. Thomas.
That one, especially the base open.
That one now works its way upstairs into a walk for Munson now as the bases are back to being loaded. And Zoe Trotter will still no outs yet in this top of the second.
That last pitch was awful close.
That one now a little dribble right to second base. Hubbard going to hold on to it and is going to get the force at second, unable to make a play back to first. Another run will come in to score now for the Tommies as the lead is 2-0. They didn't leave it in the past. 1-2 pitch now. And that one is down the middle, ringing it up. Ruby Moore for out number 2 of this inning.
And just got that outside bit of the pulse like that one out runner on third.
That one now a chopper right back to second. And that's going to break through into the gap as a tag back at second for Trotter is not in time. And Sterling will come in to score for the Tommies. Now a 3-0 lead for back at it with their offense relatively soon here. Count 2-2. And that one is in a great spot for Salo as she gets Wukowitz striking out for the second time. Bottom of the second inning of action. Kendra Lewis now stepping to the plate for Wisconsin. A chopper immediately right into the gap, and that'll be down for a single. Kendra Lewis getting the offensive spark here for Wisconsin, and nearly going over the bottom of the second.
And that was one of the surprising things about
that one out in front as Conger will take a stab at second and get there in time as a throw over the reach of Moore into center field. that one in for a strike as Kuffel goes down. 0-2 now the count. Pressure on for Bojan. One away. And gets her down on strikes. Kleinfeld notches her second strikeout of the evening. 2 away, and the big things for her thus far in this contest as the 0-2 is on the way. And that one is in for a strike. Call it 3 strikeouts for Kleinfeld through 2. The Lake Mills product is representing her home state. In respective manners, the Tommies have the Badgers scoring. That one now a shot into the gap from Carby. Lucy tracking it, unable to get it in time. Carby going to take a stab at second. She'll be down in for a double. Cassidy Carby with the leadoff double here in this. And Salo gets cooked, chasing outside, recording her 5th strikeout and out number 1.
How about that? 5 to give them stuff they can hit.
Raymond now with the chopper right at Conger, and that one's going to sneak through in the right field gap as Carby comes around from second, and the throw is not in time. The RBI double there from Caitlin Raymond.
Now for St. Thomas doing the same thing right back at him.
That one gets loose as Raymond will take third with ease. Now another runner advances, making it a little bit easier for the Tommies as a base hit would surely put Raymond at home. And that one right down Main Street. Sterling goes down swinging. The 6th punch out of Salo. Payoff pitch from Salo. That's going to be a blooper into the gap. Diving attempt from Lucy, not in time, as that's going to score Raymond from third and make it 5-0 St. Thomas.
And what a piece of hitting from St. Thomas there. That was
a little liner there into right. Cuff will have a play on it and drops right into the glove for the 3rd out of the inning. Not without a little bit of damage from the Tommies offense. St. Thomas gets 2 in the 3rd as their lead is 5. And
a little less impressive, but
pitch from Kleinfeld has Lucy chasing the 4th strikeout of the evening for Ailey waiting around.
Yeah, she does not need that clock.
That one now, looper back into center. That one's going to drop for a single. Olivia Bark adds to her success this afternoon as a throw. That one is a shot into the gap in right, and it's going to make its way over the fence. Called a 2-run shot for Molly Schlosser. Great piece of hitting there from the senior, and Wisconsin cuts into the Tommies' lead.
Geez, talk about a player who can do it all. Try to put a bunt down before. Ability after that slow start, but not respectable, spectacular.
That one now a chopper right at Moore, and she'll make a great effort at that for the 2nd out of the inning. Great play there from Ruby Moore's chin. A little bit of a bruiser, but quickly step back in here. And that's a strikeout looking for Kendra Lewis. 5 strikeouts now for Kleinfeld as she gets out of the inning, only giving. Little dribbler right back at the circle. Jacobson, easy pitch and catch with Bark for out 1 of the inning.
That was not an easy play to get a glove out.
Pitch from Jacobson right back at her again. And called the 2nd out of the inning. Not much movement there. And that one gets Wachowicz down swinging for the 3rd time in game 2. Jacobson goes 3 up, 3 down for the Badgers as we head to the bottom of the 4th. St. Thomas leading 5-2.
Level, now to see the best at this level as well.
That one a chopper back at Leinhardt, who makes the throw in time to Sterling for the 1st out.
Leinhardt charged an error in game 1, but that's the Leinhardt that has and
gets her chasing down the dirt. That one's going to be picked up by Munson, who drops it off to Sterling for the second out of the inning.
Don't see Emmy Wells chase out of the zone too often. That's kind of the command that Kleinfeld's had, able to kind of using those traditional.
That one a chopper right at Leinhart. Picks that up with ease, chips it off to Sterling. And that's 3 up, 3 down in the third for Ava Kleinfeld, making quick work of the Badgers' order with Scott. What's key for them getting pushed late. That one a high fly ball, out to center field and dropped in for the first down. Back to you.
Well, it's going to be a lot about that consistency in the batters. You talk about how the Badgers had a slow start in the Big Ten standings. 10th out of 14, not 18.
That one now a blooper into right. Lewis on to make the play for the first out of the inning.
And despite Wisconsin finishing low in the Big Ten,
to that order, they're all recording hits thus far in Game 2, adding to the depth of this lineup as Raymond skies one into left. And Schlosser is on to make the play for the out. Quick 3 up, 3 down here for Jacobson. Wisconsin
shutting down the Badgers, and now you're bringing a pinch hitter to just try and get down the bunt, trying to get anything going against her.
Swing and a miss there from Foster as she goes down on strikes. Enjoy those memories. Chopper there right at Carby, unable to hold on, but picks it up and gets it in time.
Wow.
What a play there from Cassidy Carby. Immediately after bobbling it, bare hands it and fires it across the diamond. Game 2. Chopper right at Leinhart. And she's not going to have a play at that as Bark will reach on an infield hit.
Man, another hit for Bark, making her 5th hit in the series.
Little chopper right back at Kleinfeld. She scooped that up to Sterling. And that'll be it for the bottom of the 5th. That one's a fly ball. In a shallow left, Schlosser tracing it back and will make the play for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, almost to the track, battling the sun a bit there, but able to put it away. It's kind of a tough time.
A nice addition kind of in the back end of this lineup in Game 2, adding some bases. That's a chopper right at Blomberg. Swings it across to Bark, and we'll call it 2 outs.
Yeah, Blomberg, almost a look of surprise.
Little slapper there over to second, and Crane flashing the leather, a little diving catch in the gap between first and second. Fantastic play there.
Yeah, I wonder if that's in the back of her head somewhere.
That one a chopper right back at Kleinfeld, who scoops it up, and that'll be 0 for 3 for Blomberg on the afternoon. Hopefully gets another. That one is popped into center field. Buckowitz shuffles to her right and will corral the catch for the second out of the inning.
It's been a battle for the Sun.
That one a grounder, and diving play from Leinhart. The throw across the diamond, not in time, but saves probably any extra bases there. Great effort from Lakin Leinhart, and just unable to get it.
Swing. Now Run will get a head start.
Payoff pitch from Kleinfeld, and that's going to be just outside for ball 4. 2 aboard with 2 away for Wisconsin. That one's a shot right at Leinhart, bobbles it, and is not going to have a play as runners advance.
0 for 1 with a strikeout in Game 2.
That one's a drive into center field. Back at the wall, Wilkowitz not going to have a play at it. And just like that, the Badgers, after trailing by 5, have taken the lead back. Ellie Hubbard clears the bases and then some. Wisconsin back out in front, 6-5.
Oh my goodness. Kleinfeld's been throwing gas all day. That one way too much played, and Hubbard makes her pay. We talked about her trying to get him play past the baton, but Hubbard says, watch this. And somehow the Badgers take the lead.
You could tell by that first pitch, Vince, that Hubbard was trying to make an impact and then some, and waits for the right one to come. And Wisconsin now, after being down 5, is back out in front.
Wow.
What a turn of events for the Cardinal and White here to build off of from Kleinfeld as the freshman delivers. And rings up Dempsey for the 3rd out of the inning, 8th strikeout of the evening. That one a chopper and is going to fall fair out of the outstretched mitt of Blomberg, unable to hold on to it as a leadoff single for Jenna Kuhn has the Tommies in business.
Well, we said, Trey, that alluding to
Pitch here from Jacobson. It's low, and the Tommies now have 2 aboard with none away. Buckwitz lays on a bunt. It's a good one, and that's going to be in time at first, but not without Trotter and Moore advancing to 2nd and 3rd, respectively. The go-ahead run now is, and I think if you're a Wisconsin fan, climbing all the way back is strike 3 for Carby. And just like that, we are 2 away here in the top bat here. Slapper out into right. On the play for the catch is there in time, and Wisconsin, after trailing by 5 through 3, comes all the way back and takes game 2 from St. Thomas in this doubleheader.
Yeah, you're going to collect wins along the way for the Badgers. They're able to pile on 2 more and get themselves up to 24 and 15 on the year. St. Thomas falls to 19 and 15. Before Wisconsin, they earned something else here in game 2. They earned themselves a memory, particularly for Ellie Hubbard. Able to blast one over the wall and flip what looked like a sure loss into a sure win. Man, this sport is amazing.
Yeah.